and then we don't see what we did, right, in order to get there. We didn't see what we created underneath the surface. And I think that we need to start paying attention to that just as much. Now, I was trying to lead to this question, but the slow gain, right? Like that slow results, we know what we're doing. We know that we're creating a really solid foundation. And so we're going to talk about macros, we're continuing that. When you're adjusting macros and you shift them so drastically, just for that end result quicker, we're doing something that's not as beneficial as making those small adjustments, seeing what those changes are, right?
Right. Because you don't know, like, you need to make the small adjustments and see how your body is going to react to that before you just keep adding on to whatever it may be. So, like, Mindy had said on here that she's got a whole comment about like what she was told by a trainer of what to eat, and certain strength training for so like obviously strength training 4 days a week is good.
Why are you eating 1,600 calories?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so where did the trainer come up with this number, first of all? Second of all, like, why no cardio? So like you've been eating low carbs previously, but I mean, I will tell you, Mindy, that straight off the bat, like if I wanted to do like just a quick estimation of calories, like I would typically, as a coach myself, there's a calculator that I use online when I calculate a person's macros, and I can't even pronounce what it's called. Miffler St. Gior or something. I don't know. I'm probably not even saying it right. But anyway, that's a good estimator for me. But like what I'm saying is if take your body weight times 10. And that's generally like, you do not want to be lower than that. And right now, like, you're way, way below that. So what you're essentially doing is, you're slowing your metabolism down. You have a base. Like,
you're creating a place of starvation, right? And so what happens is your body always is going to protect you. Your body was meant to survive. Like the first thing the body has to do is survive. And so what does it do in order to survive when it's surviving on too few of calories, too little of an energy source? Like you said, you're low on energy. It slows everything down so it can keep that energy source in your body longer.
Yeah,
Does
Mindy,
that make sense?
I don't think, you're talking about low energy, and like, I don't think you're eating enough calories to give your body energy. Like, you're dragging at this point. And it doesn't matter if you were like, when you say you were lower carbs before, that's like another thing that I would like really want to look at in depth. So, when you were low carbs before, there are so many different plans, but like you could have been way higher in fat. So like fats and carbs are both energy sources. Okay. So even if your carbs are low, if your fat is high, that's where you're getting energy from. Fat is just longer sustaining form of energy versus carbs. Carbs give you quick energy, which you need for your workouts for sure. But if you were eating low carb and your fat was super high, you're still getting calories, right? And fat is over double the calories of carbs. So like, I don't know what you were before, but see, just even by the switching of the macros, your body is going to feel a difference. Like, it's going to notice the difference. If your fat used to be much higher because your carbs were lower. Well, let's say I used to have 100 grams of fat a day. That's 900 calories, right? And then let's say that my fats were cut to 50. Okay, so that's half the calories. That's 450 calories from fat. But I only went up like 50 carbs. Okay, 50 carbs is 200 calories, right? So, not to make this confusing, but you're essentially having 250 like less calories or something like that. That is an energy source for you. Okay, so I don't know where you were before versus where you are now, but you kind of got to look at that because, again, so let me have my calculator here. Okay, so if I had 900 calories from fat, which was 100 grams, and then I cut that in half, and so that gives me 450 calories. All right, so that would be 50 grams of fat. And so let's say that I had, my low carb before, but I was like low carb before, let's say I was 75 carbs, and that's 300 calories. Well, now I'm up to 170. That's 680. So that's 380 calories difference from carbs, but you're 450 calories different from fat. You're still less calories, your calories are lower for sure, but the fats are longer sustaining, right? So if I eat fat with a meal, I'm going to have more energy for longer than if I just ate like a fat-free meal with carbs.
So Mindy, let's just get you moving in the right direction, because I hate throwing shade at other trainers, but this is really bad advice. Like, it's really bad advice. It looks like it's just basic, typically what you see in most of our, if you go read a blog, it's pretty general advice here. What I think you would want to do is get up to that 2,300 calories, right? We're just going off of 10 times your body weight, 2,300 calories. When you start eating more, when you have more energy, what happens? You are more active. Okay, so what's happening right now is you're low on energy, so your workout sucks, so you sit around and you just don't want to do anything, right? You've got no energy for nothing. What happens when you eat more food? You've got more energy. You feel good. You do more. So your workout is bomb because you've got enough energy to actually crush the workout and get the results that you want out of it. Plus, you've got more energy to do other things. So what happens is not only is your activity level in your workout going up, but now your activity level throughout the day goes up. So we have what's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, going on. So now we're really building up the metabolism, and we're using the calories that you're eating. We're not, holding on to them, so to speak. Does that make sense? Coach Holly, would you agree? Sorry, I've got comments coming in here like crazy now.
Yes. So, I will tell you, like, whenever I compete, the leaner I get, then obviously my body weight goes down. So, when your body weight goes down, the number of calories you need to maintain that also go down. But like with the activity, like Coach Katie was talking about with NEAT, the leaner I get, the less energy I have. And like, it's all I can do to do my workouts. So like, if you're struggling with energy, but you're not getting any results, then that tells you you're not where you need to be. So I think maybe, Mindy, that it's kind of too much of a cut right off the bat from where your starting point is, because like, you need to have a certain amount of energy for your workouts, your other activities. Like, you want to be able to do other things to burn calories, but if you don't have enough energy to burn calories, you're not going to be able to lose fat. Okay, so you want to be able to bump up that additional activity, but you also need, you need a certain amount of calories alone from fat just for hormone function. So if your fat is set too low, which personally I think it is for what your body weight is right now, then you're gonna, like, your hormones are gonna suffer. And this is a big deal for women, especially, and I know this from all the different times I have prepped. I know where my fat needs to be. And like, I've worked with coaches before who have cut my fat too much, too fast. And I'm like, I know I'm going to feel like trash. I will tell you. And 5 grams of fat, believe it or not, 5 grams of fat even makes a huge difference in how I feel. And a lot of people think it's not that big of a deal, but it is. And so if that's the case, then you got to think about it in the other direction too. That like, you know, cutting certain macros too much is going to have a negative effect. That's why everything should be done slowly over time. So you want to be able to preserve as much lean muscle as you can while you are losing fat. You know, if you cut your calories too much too fast, your body is going to take your lean muscle. That is going to be the best source for it to use for calories.
And right now, I think the biggest thing you can do for yourself right now is to put the scale in a cupboard or a closet or something like that while you're finding out what's going on with your body and like if you're just starting to track and you're just starting to find that out, because there's going to be shifts, and every time there's shifts, what we do is we start to sabotage ourselves, and then we start to like celebrate, right? Like we have this ups and downs just because of what's going on the scale. So if you can eliminate that and either just take pictures or take measurements, it's going to be so much better in the long run, right? So we're not just looking at these tiny snippets of time, but over the course of time. Does that make sense? And I think Coach Holly agrees with me. Like pictures, measurements, so much better, because, you know, just even depending on where your hormones are for your cycle right now is gonna, you know, cause water weight and so many things that cause the fluctuation on the scale that just don't give us the actual picture of what's going on.
Yeah. And your measurements and your weight they're never linear either. Like your measurements won't always come down when your weight's coming down. So, you know, it makes a big difference. Yes, Mindy, PCOS, yeah. Like I have had many ladies come to me with that. And that, to me, if you have PCOS, it's an even bigger reason to just like make slow adjustments. Because I don't know, like for me, the ladies that I've worked with PCOS before, it's almost like your body is even more stubborn than a typical woman's body. That's
it's like a small toddler, right? Like that just doesn't want to go to bed.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, let's skip back up to Taylor's. Actually, Mindy, did we answer your questions? Do you feel like you know which direction to take that next step in?
So Mindy, why don't you just message me? Like if you want me to like help you with you know, like figuring it out, I will help you figure that out. Like for what I would recommend. But, you know, I don't want to sit there and throw out on our video, this is what I would say for you, because I don't want other people to think, because everybody's different, right? So like there are lots of factors that I would probably want to ask you more questions, you know, but so yes, just reach out.
Yeah, reach out to Holly. Okay, where's the best way to reach out? Should she send you an email? Should she send you just a message right here on Facebook?
You can do either, but my email is fitnessbyholly@gmail.com, so you can email me there if you like. You can contact me through my website too. It's fitwithholly.com, and you can just there's a contact me button there, so that's easy. Okay, we're going back up to Taylor's. Let me see if I can find it now. So good length, I have my own answer for this. Coach Holly might have a different one, but what is a good length of program for nutrition for those who don't know where to start? My opinion, there isn't a length of time for nutrition. Nutrition should be enduring. It should be something that you constantly get to manipulate and play with, but it shouldn't be ending. So when we think about end goal nutrition, then we're not actually on a strategy that's going to be life sustaining, right? It's something that causes those ups and downs, this over obsessiveness with certain foods, and what happens is it typically pushes into more of that disordered eating pattern versus that self-love, for purpose eating that we want to see for lifestyle change, right? So we have habits and lifestyles and a healthier way of sustainable eating. That doesn't have a time limit, like that doesn't have a time frame. And so when we put those time frames on it, what happens is, if we don't get XYZ by, that 6 weeks that the program is supposed to last, then what happens? And we have, like those self-deprecating feelings, and I don't like time frames on nutrition. I think nutrition is
a strategy that is constantly evolving. You know, like, and Coach Holly will probably attest to this. Her 1999 strategy for eating is not her, 2021 strategy for eating. It's constantly evolved based on where she is. And not only that, but, as you've aged, right, Holly, like you have to eat differently based on where you are. For kids, like babies.
I would love to see if I need to find, like, if I have a notebook from then.
I think you do. Like, if you find one, we want those screenshots. We want pictures of it in this group.
No. Okay, so Taylor, I get what you're saying there, but I do agree with Coach Katie that, like, this is a lifestyle thing. But as far as teaching them habits, like, this is why my program is going to be, like, I'm still working on this, y'all. I'm never going to finish.
So wait, stop. Plug your program, because I think people need to get a little teaser. Like, so Coach Holly is working on this bomb program right now, ladies. Just give us a little teaser. Like, what are you going to roll out?
So, well, this is a 16-week. And so, Taylor, I was going to say like a minimum of 16 weeks. Okay. Because, like, the first 4 weeks, it takes that long just to even get into the habit of things. It takes 8 weeks, like, really for you to start seeing results. Like, in 8 weeks, other people will see it on you before you see it on yourself. But then, like, another 4 weeks, like, I would say, Taylor, as far as who you're talking about advising, 12 to 16 weeks minimum to change the habits that you can continue to carry that with you, right? So, like, my programming, so my 16-week program is basically just going to be, it is this is for women, but a 16-week program, and this is an all-inclusive, like, coaching, nutrition, and training. All of that is included, but the thing that makes it different, like, you can get online for free, and you can find all kinds of stuff, right? Like, you can find any kind of program that you want. You could go in and Google 8-week program, a 16-week program, and you're going to have something that's pre-made, already planned for whoever wants to have it, and pay $49.99, whatever. I don't know. But so this is specific to you. So my program is it is laid out 16 weeks, the same kind of progressions, but your workouts are based on your equipment, where you are, what your goals are, and your nutrition is based obviously on where you are and what your goals are as well. But the thing that makes it different is not only is it set up for you, but you will have weekly contact. So, like, there is that accountability. Like, it's not like you just go by this program and you're supposed to follow it, and okay, this is why people don't get results. You don't have somebody on you, like, okay, what did you do this week? Like, this is why you invest when you want results.
Yeah.
That, like, you have not gotten before. This is why you invest in a coach, not just go online and find another plan, because how many plans have you done in your life that have probably not made it past week 2?
Yeah. So I had a call with a gal. So I have a program too, but not probably. I think Coach Holly and I have similar ones, just from different, like, perspectives. So of course, if you're looking for one, like, get on the phone with both of us and find one that works. Don't, like, sell yourself short. But I talked to this girl, and she said, why do you give a discount if I pay for 6 months or a year versus month to month? And I said, because now I want to work with you. Like, 'cause I know your goals are long term. Like, I'm willing to give a huge discount for women that are willing to work up for that long. If, the quick fix people, like, you've got to make a higher investment just to stick around for that 1 month.
Yeah, so, because what you put in, y'all, is what you're going to get out. Like, This is why there are so many things that people start. I mean, I can't tell you, I have worked with so many people who have downloaded, 3 or 4 different plans in 1 month, and they've done none of them. And you have to ask, okay, why? Like, who on here, y'all feel free to comment. Like, if you're watching the replay or whatever, how many plans have you gotten for free or very low cost? So, like, yes, there's that low whatever they call it, barrier of entry or whatever. So like you're not really investing much. So you're like, okay, well, I'll try this. But because you're not investing much, your likelihood of even following through with 1 week goes way down.
Yeah. I stopped doing free programs. Like I stopped even like writing programs or writing like general recommendations or, awesome. Like I felt like they were awesome and they would totally work for, anybody that was just starting out just because they were doing something. But I stopped offering free anything because I felt like all I'm doing is a disservice to any woman that picked that up and then, spent the first 2 or 3 days doing it and then dropped it because there's no investment, there's no skin in the game. And all of us, it's human nature, I do it too, chase that shiny object, the next thing, because they saw this program, they read whatever awesome, description I put online about how amazing it is. And then what happens? They go and read some next website, awesome description about how amazing this program, and we just have this program hopping, and so we never get the full picture. We never get the progress, of what's going on. We never get to see that take place because it's just this constant like leapfrog sort of thing, right?
Exactly. So, what I will say is with macros, with intuitive eating, with whatever plan you are following, remember that it is going to take time. Like you have to, like I say this all the time, it's on the back of one of my boot camp shirts, consistency is key, right? Consistency is the key, because if you're not consistent with something, you're not going to see the results. Most of the time, any kind of diet might work if you do it.
You can be consistent with the shittiest program or the crappiest diet. Like it's not even like a great diet or nutrition strategy, right? It's just kind of basic information. But if you're consistent with it, like I feel like people
get results. See, here's the problem, y'all. People are not consistent. I see people that can't be consistent for 2 days. I see people that will do something literally, and this is like probably 90% of the people I work with on a regular basis. They do great Monday through Friday, but the weekend is a free for all. And so all of the progress they made Monday through Friday, they undo on Saturday and Sunday. So your consistency is not there. You might think your consistency is there, but guess what? Weekend days are still days.
Yeah. So I was that person. I was that person, Coach Holly. Actually, I was that person. And here's how I fixed it for myself, because I'm if you guys don't know the 4 tendencies, or you've never read Gretchen Rubin, go read it. But I'm a rebel, right? I'm a rebel tendency. So like I don't like rules. So when I would like think about the weekend and I was like, oh yeah, like kind of like Luke's mentality, right? Like it's just like all for, whatever. That was my weekend. So I switched my workouts, my programming, so that Saturday and Sunday was never a weekend. And when I switched that so that my weekend fell on like, it typically falls on Tuesday and Wednesday now. That's my weekend, right? Like those are my two rest days in a row is Tuesday and Wednesday. Everything shifted. So you guys can be very, very, very personally strategic about what works for you. And I think that every time we are going to talk to you, we're going to continue to tell you, figure it out for you. You can't go make yourself fit in somebody else's program or life or whatever is working for them. Like find out what works for you. And obviously working with Holly or myself, hopefully we can help you expedite that process,
Right. You shouldn't be wondering, like, you're going to know, like, if a plan is sustainable for you. I make changes to my clients' plans all the time. I have clients who, we set up their macros and they're free to figure them out for themselves. But I have people who want me to tell them what to eat. So I have clients that I do that for too. And, a lot of that is about changing the habits over time. So Taylor, like the 12 to 16 weeks, if somebody is very good about being compliant to what they're told to eat, like I don't like to be told what to eat, because like I've done this with prepping for a show, but like I have had coaches who I have done it macros based, and I have done it like food plan. And either way, I can get to the same result,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to be compliant either way. You have to be compliant to what it is. And so that means you have to be accountable for what you're consuming, like all the time. On the weekends, it counts. It counts every day. So like what you do is up to you. But, you know, having a coach definitely helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe our new hashtag in their group is going to be like consistently compliant. Because if you guys if you just are consistent and compliant, like I don't know how to tell you, like there's 100, probably 1,000, hundreds of thousands of workout programs, Pinterest workouts that are going to work for you. I always tell people, get a training plan, get a training strategy. Because, you know, quit cherry picking workouts, like get a training strategy, know what that progress is going to look like, you know, 6 months to a year from now, and where those cycles are at. Get a training strategy, but anything's going to work if you consistently implement it. Right?
You have to put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, it is not easy. It is not easy for anyone. Don't ever let somebody tell you that I can look this way and it's no problem, because if you don't put in the hard work, you are not going to hit your goals. You have to put in the work consistently over time for whatever those goals are. But you can't be back and forth. It can't be like today is this, tomorrow is that. Well, I was doing this and I did it for a couple of days and then I switched to something else. Your body does not know what to do if it is bouncing all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be consistent. You know, if you pick plan A and you do plan A for 2 weeks solid, you're probably going to see results. Like, unless it's some ridiculous program. But it takes consistency. And so, I mean, I do think it's better if you have something that is set up for you, that you're not just picking some random free thing because it looks good for this beautiful model that's on Instagram. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, yeah, she's 20 years younger than you, and she hasn't had kids, and she doesn't have stress, and she doesn't have PCOS, and I mean, you know, like,
and she's genetically gifted. I think we miss out on the whole genetically gifted things too, you know, like.
And I'm telling you though, there's not many. There are not many genetically gifted people, y'all. Like, it takes hard work. Hard work. Like, if you see, this is why they say like Instagram is the highlight reel, because you're seeing what's great. Like, you're mm-hmm. seeing what the ideal is or whatever. But there are always struggles. Everybody is human. Like, there's always something that you're working through. You're not going to see it. So, you know, you have to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Okay, ladies, we are past the hour.
Yes.
This live is in 2 broadcasts now, and we did miss a chunk of it, so I am so sorry for that. But did we answer your questions? If you have more, of course, post them in the group. I would love to see you guys posting your, you know, your progress. You know, post some progress photos, or just celebrate yourself in the group. So part of creating a new habit, you have to have that reward. And a lot of times for me and for my clients, it's immediate gratification. Do you know how powerful immediate gratification is? That's why people post on Instagram, right? That's why they post that they did something, because guess what? Now they've just celebrated themselves. They've continued to write that new script, that new story for themselves. So use this group, post your progress, post those wins every time, you know, like, dang, look at me. I woke up and whatever you did, you know, right when you woke up, that's setting you on the right track for the day, you know, like, go ahead and celebrate in our group. I think that it's an underrated piece of the puzzle. So,
yeah, and if y'all want me, like, I don't ever post anything in the group.
We should start posting.
If y'all want me to post my wins in here, I will do that too. And be sure though, if you ask questions in the group, like, to tag us. Or like, you know, tag me or tag Coach Katie. Because like a lot of times I won't, like, if you have a question for me, like, literally put my name in there and ask me the question. Because like sometimes I just won't see it. And like I don't know, Facebook stuff just gets buried a lot of times. So, you know, please stay active in here. Ask questions in here. Post things. You know, if you want to see things like from us, let us know, like, what you want to see, like, not just your questions, but, you know, let us know. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so have an awesome day, ladies. Of course, Holly's going to be posting our lives on Instagram. We've got a podcast, so if you see them there, give them a like, share them, whatever. Invite your friends to be here with you, so that they can, kind of get this basic level of support too. And then as you guys, kind of find that next footing and you're ready to take that next step, of course, send Holly or myself a message, and we can get you into our higher value programs where we're going to really expedite your progress. So have an awesome day, guys, and
Thanks,
we'll talk
ladies.
soon. See ya.
Bye.